Today we're checking out the Pinty Buster. Pinty has been very popular in the airgun community, especially among viewers of this channel, leaving comments asking me to review the Pinty Nightfall. But a couple years ago they came out with that, and it looks like a popular rifle that's been around for literally 25 years. But these guys took the extra step, added a regulator, and also just because it looks like something doesn't mean it's the same. But the Pinty Nightfall is a regulated PCP airgun that is super affordable. Like, you literally can't get any more affordable than this. And Pinty also offers two other rifles that are not regulated, called the Pinty Thumper, which is a bullpup, and the Pinty Timber. And also, I just noticed in the P-Force airgun series, which all these guns are a part of, they have the Pinty Vanguard. The Pinty Buster is what we're reviewing today. This PCP pistol has got to be one of the coolest pistols I've ever seen. And it's affordable. Comes in 177 and 22 caliber. I got the 22 today. And as you can see, this thing's awesome. Also, and this is probably the most important thing about this PCP pistol, it's regulated. So you can have the same velocity whether the tank is empty or full. It's all aluminum. No polymer BS on this thing. This is going to sling a 177 caliber 4.5 millimeter pellet at 700 feet per second. That's going to give you flatter trajectories and tighter groups. The 22 is also hard hitting for a pistol, but you can see with this long barrel, it's going to deliver 600 feet per second in 22 caliber. It's got a 100cc air tank that's going to give you 20 to 25 reliable shots per fill. The fast side lever action enables rapid follow-ups and minimizes reload time. You could single shot load this, but it comes with two magazines. I also like the magazines because they're easy to load. You don't have to do that crap where you spin the cover and you don't know which way to spin it. It's got a little grip on the side, so all you do is turn it a little bit, load a pellet, go to the next hole, and load it up until you're ready to rock and roll. It has an adjustable hammer spring, so that lets you fine-tune the power, and obviously you guys turn it up if you want to. But it says the adjustable hammer spring lets you fine-tune the power and shot fill, and the dual rails give mission-ready modularity for faster target acquisition, better balance, and quick on-the-fly setup. Perfect for range days or field practice. Precision, power, and adaptability in one compact PCP pistol. And then it says a pro tip, while the air reservoir can provide up to 30 shots at full charge, optimal velocity and consistency are maintained within the first 20 to 25 shots. Performance beyond 20 shots may vary depending on shooting distance, ambient temperature, and air pressure. For the most precise results, we recommend recharging after the initial 20-shot string. It says if your airgun is empty, which you're supposed to store all PCP airguns full of air. But it says if filling the airgun from 0 psi, it'll be necessary to cock the airgun to remove the force of the hammer spring against the firing valve. Otherwise, the air will pass through. That is good to know. And meow, let's get this party started. So you got a nice little... Wow. Yeah, that's how they typically work. You just got the cocking in the back, and then we can decock it. Here's the safety. Nice and greasy. That's what we want to see. And look at, oh, I was going to say ambidextrous safety. I wonder if there's an upgrade where you can just unscrew that sucker and put in an ambidextrous one. All right, so if we want to decock it, we're going to take it off safe, and then we just pull this back. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. Pull this back, hold this down, let it down gently, and now we are decocked. Here's a look at that probe right there. Just cocked it again. But also you want to store them full of air. They do come not full sometimes. This one's full. Obviously it holds air because it's been in that box for a while. All right, let's take a shot. There's a look at the trigger though. Obviously that's all metal too. This thing's rugged. All right, so there's not much for a first stage. Ooh, that is smooth, but a little bit heavy, but super smooth. So we got the beaver tail on the back right there. This thing is awesome. I love the 1911 is of it. This side's just straight Terminator, like they issued it with the Terminator. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome, you guys. Mainly because like normally the pistol would be maybe that long. So it's long. And it's just like a Colt 1911, or basically like an Adamant AP16 on steroids. I love it. So the sides are cut out, but also the top right there. This thing has a great balance. And what Pinty says about the Buster is that the regulated system provides more stable ballistic performance across multiple shots, improving consistency. It does say that it has 1/2 UNF threads. However, there's a little sleeve that goes in the end, and so you should just hit up Donnie FL for a low-cost adapter. This is going to hold 9 in the magazine in 177 and 8 in the magazine in 22 caliber. It's got a 250 bar fill or 3600 psi. The 100cc air tank is going to give you at least 20 regulated shots per fill. It's made out of 7075 aluminum alloy. It weighs 2.87 pounds. The trigger weight is listed as 3.5 pounds. As I said, it's a little bit heavy. It's got a 10.5 inch barrel with an overall length of just under 16 inches. The fiber optic sights are red in the front, and that one's fixed. And the rear is adjustable for windage and elevation, and that's 2 green dots. I would say the fit, finish, and features on this bad boy look awesome, especially for the price. The adjustable power and the regulated action, they could definitely sell this pistol for a lot more than they're asking. But meow, it's time to find out, how does it shoot? So I went ahead and used Balisol, which is safe for airgun seals. Never use a metal cleaning rod. So I used a patchworm, did a little pull through thing, and there's what I got out on the first swipe. So you definitely want to clean that junk out before you shoot your airgun. And that is how clean I got it. Doesn't get much cleaner. Ready to go, buddy? Look what else I just discovered, you guys. See that? That's glowing in the dark, and it's not even dark in here. There it is. Watch this. That's your air gauge on the Pinty Buster. You can fill this with a hand pump that costs 40 or 50 bucks, but no matter how you fill it, you should use a PCP moisture filter in between. So that's like a $60 one off Amazon right there. And then that basically protects the performance of your regulator. Okay, we got all the pellets right here, from the 13 grain, 14 grain, a whole lot of 15s, and then probably as high as we're gonna go is the 18 grain right there. Just for fun though, we may try the 22 or the 25 grain for accuracy. And we're set up at a very special 8 yards away, we'll call it 7. All right guys, single shot loading. Here's the 13.43 grain. Ooh, that's a good little popper. All right, here's the next one. 14.35 grain. I like those right there. Now we got the 15.89 grain JSB dome. Plenty of velocity on all these. All right, now we got the 18.13 grain JSB domed. These are good pellets right here. Well, it feels so good to shoot. 700 feet per second with the 18 grain. Very nice. All right, we better try some heavies. So it looks like with this kind of power, you can still shoot these heavier pellets like the AE 22 grain. Pretty close. Let's do a group with these open sights. Same hole in it. Wow, it's really easy to like instinctively line up. Like I couldn't really see too good, but if I just kind of point and shoot, I think it'll hit it really good. So that's awesome. Let's try some heavies real fast. All right, I'm going for the 25.39 grain redesigns. Look at that, you guys. This thing's easy to shoot. Darn it. That one up. I just decided to keep shooting these 25.39 grain redesigns, which are some heavy hitters. And it took me a few groups to dial my shooting in. But check this out. With open sights, there's an official group 8 yards away with the 25.39 grain redesigns. Yeah, I'm waiting too long. If I wait too long, I'm going to miss. Let me start over here. That's it right there, you guys. That's a proper group. You just be relaxed. I was doing my breathing and just pop that bullseye at the end of every breath. Worked great. Check out this group using those open sights, you guys, 7 yards away. So that's under a dime for sure. These guys don't stand a chance right here. If you didn't notice, the regulator's working awesome on this gun. All right, I put a scope on this bad boy that costs roughly 4 times what the gun costs. But it's gonna be awesome, and we're at a very special. 23 yards away. We'll call it 25. I'm gonna start off sighting with some 18 grains. Unfortunately, I forgot this scope does not have parallax, so I'm gonna be shooting at some blurry shit right there. All right, here we go. Yeah, I twisted it to the right, but hey, we're pretty close. Same spot. I'm gonna have to figure out how to click over. Look at that FPS though, you guys. Awesome regulator in this thing. There it is. And we'll go a few clicks up. All right, I'm gonna do an official group right here on kind of a blurry bullseye, but pretty easy gun to shoot. I pulled that one a little bit. But let's just go check out that group I just shot. That's definitely a dime center to center on our first try, so that'll work. And by the way, those were the JSB 18.13 grain. I actually ended up shooting this gun a lot. What an amazing pistol. Awesome accuracy, regulated. The regulator is kicking butt on this thing. Pretty much duplicate numbers on every shot. And I thought it was a misprint because it had said 20 to 35 shots. And earlier I said 20 to 25 shots, but you really do get 35 regulated shots. I was getting 30 to 35 spot on shots out of this 22 right here. So this is what a 22 caliber pellet becomes. The 18 grains at least. The 25s would look a little different, but these are like tiny lead pancakes. So I guess that's where it hit, and then that is the back of it. It's the same thing that happens to a Ferrari when you crash it going like 200 miles an hour. The front ends up in the back. This right here is your rear sight, and when you remove that right there, it doesn't come off, but it will fold forward if your optic is hitting it. And there's 2 little springs, and I couldn't figure out where they go, but they actually go on each side. You would think that they go like here and here, but there's actually 2 little holes on each side. So when you're putting it back together, that's where they go. I shot this a ton. I can't show you guys everything because it takes forever to edit this stuff. But I think you get the idea. Definitely the best pistol you're going to find for this price. And the Buster probably outperforms pretty much anything out there, even at 2 or 3 times the price. If this video does get 50,000 views, I'll go ahead and review their flagship model. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And once again, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Happy shooting. We'll see you on the next one. This thing's a thumper.